Welcome to Zen with Gwen meditation sessions. Hi, I'm Gwendolyn. This will be another breath observation meditation. You may like to do it sitting up, lying down, or comfortably reclined in a chair. Whichever position you choose, it's best to stay attentive yet comfortable so you can pay attention to the meditation, but that being said, if you doze off for a while, that's okay too. Let's take a minute here to settle in and get out any final fidgets. And to start fresh, let's take 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, letting go of any tension in the jaw or neck. Three deep breaths in and out to let go of tension in the shoulders. Continue breathing deeply to release tension down the length of the arms and into the hands. Three deep breaths into the rib cage to relax any tension there. Three deep breaths into the belly, the sides of the waist and the back. Three deep breaths to relax any tension in the hips. And 3 deep breaths to let the legs become heavy, feel supported, and release any tension in the lower body. You may like to set an intention for our time together. Taking a moment to notice how you feel right now. There is no good or bad, it's simply an exercise in observation. Now turning your awareness towards the breath, noticing how you're breathing today. How would you describe your breath to someone else? Tuning in to the feeling of your heart beating. how would you describe your heartbeat to someone else? Tuning in to your physical body, how would you describe the way your body is feeling today? And tuning into how your mind is working, how would you describe that to someone? Now let's turn our attention back to the breath. I'll suggest a variety of techniques to keep your mind focused on observing your breath. The first technique is very simple, though that doesn't mean it'll necessarily be easy to follow. As you breathe in, saying in your own mind, in, and as you breathe out, saying to yourself, out. You may like to picture a ball or a ball of light in the center of the chest. With each breath in, it grows and expands, and with each breath out, it shrinks back down. Or perhaps you like to picture waves on the seashore. Every time you breathe in, the waves come in, and every time you breathe out, the waves go back out to sea. You may like to picture the breath like the mercury rising and falling in the thermometer. Or you may like to picture the breath rising and falling up the spine. So as you breathe in, picturing a line traveling up the spine to the top of the head, and then as you breathe out, it goes back down. one other option is to breathe in a circle. So the breath comes up the front of the body to the top of the head as you breathe in, and then it goes down the back of the body to the tailbone as you breathe out. Or perhaps for today you'd like a more tactile option, placing the hands on the side of the ribs, or a hand on belly and chest to feel the inflation and deflation of your torso. We can also use words or images to help recognize our thoughts. So when a thought pops up, you may say to yourself, "Oh, I'm recognizing a thought." Or you may like to label the thought, such as planning or remembering. Or perhaps you like to picture your thoughts, like clouds passing in the sky. Every time you notice a thought, that's just a cloud passing overhead, and then as you come back to the breath, that's the cloud going on its way. You may picture the thoughts falling like raindrops or autumn leaves, or rising like bubbles in a glass of champagne. And eventually, every thought moves on its way, either settling on the ground or popping. And while we're here, your mind will probably go on to notice physical sensations. Do your best not to tell yourself a story about the sensation. Instead, focus on what you notice in the present moment. So you can notice the intensity of the sensation, the size, the shape, the weight, or even if you could give it a color. may decide to let your mind rest on that sensation to see what information it can give you, to observe it like an outsider, or you can move on and come back to your breath. Certain emotions or feelings may arise while you're here. And just as you did with noticing thoughts and physical sensations, you can do the same with your emotions and your feelings. You can say to yourself, "Oh, I'm noticing an emotion," observing the raw sensation of that emotion in the present moment. Or you may like to visualize it, noticing where in your body you feel it, and if you can feel the size, the shape, the color, or maybe even the temperature of this emotion or feeling. I'll leave you in silence for several minutes. In the last few minutes of this practice, you'll hear music coming on to gently bring you into a more wakeful state. taking a moment to bring your mind back to your intention, always with the option to set one for the rest of the day, week, month, or year ahead. Tuning back into your thoughts, your body, and your emotions once more to notice any shifts in the present moment. Let's take 3 breaths in and out, relaxing the top of the head. Three breaths to relax the face and jaw. Breathing to relax the neck and shoulders. Three deep breaths into the ribs. Three breaths into the belly. Breathing to relax the pelvis. And finally, 3 breaths to relax the legs and feet. Option to speed up and deepen the breath to gently bring yourself into a more wakeful state. After time spent in stillness, you may like to stretch and move, and that's a totally natural response. In fact, I encourage it. Thank you so much for choosing to spend this time with me. From my light to yours, Namaste.